Hi, my name is Patel. I'm an architect and co-founder of Formed Architects. Today, I want to talk to you about getting planning permission for an extension for your home and what you need to think about to get permission. Planning can be complex, even for extensions that don't need planning, known as permitted development. Not having the right permission in place can put you in a position where you could be asked to remove what you have built. So let's start by understanding what you can do without planning permission, known as permitted development rights. There are variations in permitted development rules in what is allowed to terraced houses, semi-detached houses, and detached homes. Flats, even converted flats in blocks that used to be one house, do not benefit from permitted development rights, and you will need to apply for planning permission for any extensions in that instance. The key with permitted development is to understand the house as it was originally built, or pre-1948. Later additions will need to be considered, so if you have a house that already has a 2.5 metre rear single-storey extension, even if you bought the house with the extension, you cannot simply use that as the back of the house, as it has to be back of the rear wall of the original house, which acts as the point from which you measure distances to extend beyond the rear. Houses that have outriggers, these are the part of the house that sticks out in an L shape out at the rear from the main house, commonly found in Victorian and Edwardian properties, can benefit from permitted development rights with extensions permitted from the rear of the outrigger and the main house. This would mean that you can add a 3 metre extension to both aspects, or even 6 metres in some instances, although as the side wall of the outrigger is considered a side elevation, these two extensions cannot join, as they would exceed the permitted width for side extensions. Single-storey side extensions to a side elevation can be no wider than half the width of the original house. The eaves height cannot exceed 3 metres if within 2 metres of the boundary, and the highest point cannot be higher than 4 metres. The eaves and ridge height of any extension under permitted development cannot be higher than the highest point to the existing house. If you are thinking about a rear extension, similar rules apply, although in some instances you can add a 2-storey, 3 metre deep extension to the rear without planning permission. The highest part of this cannot be higher than the original house and must be more than 2 metres from the boundary, but in many detached and semi-detached properties, this could result in significant additional space, where typically, under full planning, you may not be granted this. In all instances, the footprint to any extension cannot exceed 50% of the total area of the land around the original house, although front and rear gardens can be included in the calculation of the area. If a single-storey rear extension is preferred, then you would be limited to a 3 metre deep extension to terraced houses and semi-detached houses, or up to 6 metres under the neighbourhood consultation rules, and up to 4 metres or 8 metres under the neighbourhood scheme for a detached property. There are similar criteria in terms of heights on these side extensions, and you can have a pitched and flat roof or a combination of both, as long as you are within the rules for permitted development. You will want to be mindful that the deeper the extension, the harder it is likely to get natural daylight into the space, and you may end up with a darker area to the existing house. A well-considered design should work to overcome this. Permitted development may not always be appropriate due to the limits imposed, and you should consider options as to what may be viable under relative local design guidance and policy. Often, to square off extensions to outriggers or have an L-shape extension will mean that planning is required. If you live in a conservation area or own a listed building, or in areas of outstanding natural beauty, some permitted development rights may exist, but often these may have been removed to preserve the character of the area. This means you will have to apply for full planning permission. This is not something to be feared, and we have undertaken many extensions with full planning permission. The key is to understand the council's guidance for that area and introduce sympathetic additions to complement the original existing house. Sympathetic doesn't always mean something that looks like the original. A modern, contrasting take may also be considered appropriate by the council. If you are not sure about what will be permitted in a conservation area or to a listed building, a pre-application may be beneficial, as this gives you the opportunity to discuss the proposal with the council officers informally. It is important to not get caught out, as listed buildings can be extended under permitted development in some instances, but listed building consent will also be required. With planning, understanding what is possible and within guidance is critical in the design process. As discussed earlier, even permitted development comes with complex rules, and to avoid getting caught out, it is useful to speak to an architect, such as Formed Architects, who can advise you what routes are available to you and what would be involved in making a planning application. If planning is not required, we would always suggest that a certificate of lawfulness is applied for, as this will confirm that what you are proposing complies with permitted development, due to the complexities in the rules. Formed architects are happy to talk through the specifics of your home and would work with you to understand what you need from the additional space to develop a planning strategy that works for the specific situation for your house. We have over 10 years' experience in dealing with extensions in a creative way in the realms of the rules so that planning can be a straightforward, stress-free process. This is only a brief summary of what type of extensions you can do with or without planning. The specifics of each case have to be evaluated in each case so as to ensure that you have the right permissions in place. But by getting to this point, hopefully you can start thinking about what can be possible to make the most out of the space in your home. Hope you found this video useful, and thank you for watching. If you have had a positive planning experience or struggle to get permission and want further support, please let us know in the comments section below. If you are looking to do a building works now or any time in the future, please subscribe to our channel, as there are some great videos coming up that will help you through your home building project.